So this one is our first session on a vector calculus. So second unit from my side because already we finished the integral calculus. Now we're starting here a vector calculus. Remember, this vector calculus is really a simple topic provided you are good in the basics of vector algebra. So even though I said a basics of vector algebra, remember not many more things that you should know. There are very small things that very small definitions that we require as a prerequisite part. So let I write one by one and I will ask you also. The first one, can you tell me uh, what is a vector first? What is a vector? Quick recap. Okay, what is a vector? Yes, anyone? Yes, Sushant.
Quantity which has magnitude and direction.
Yes, good. So the quantity having a both magnitude and direction is a vector. That's one. Second, how we calculate a magnitude of vector? How we?
Vector divided by its unit vector.
No. I'm not asking a unit vector. I'm asking a magnitude of a vector.
Under root a1 square plus a2 square plus a3 square.
Okay, good. So provided the vector, oh, okay, before that, let me see this. Already we seen a vector is a quantity having both magnitude and direction. The first thing I will tell you that all the vectors are denoted by these notations, either a bar or a arrow or a cap. Okay, one of these three notation can be used: a bar, a arrow, or a cap. Remember, in our textbook, the bold alphabets are used for denoting a vector. Okay, so it is a bold and unbold alphabets. So that is a mainly bold alphabets are a vector and unbold alphabets are the scalar there. Okay, but generally that notation is never followed, and that is difficult to do it by handwriting also. Okay. So we will follow either a bar, a arrow, or a cap. In particular, this third notation we use for unit vector, but either you will follow this notation, either a bar or a arrow for a vector. Okay. So that about the notation, and every vector is a given in terms of its component. For example, the vector a bar is a given in terms like a1i plus a2j plus a3k. Okay, where a1, a2, a3 are the components of this vector a bar along x, y, z axis. So that about the representation of a vector. And it I cap, j cap, and k cap, or just I, j, k also sometimes used. So these are the unit vectors along the direction of x, y, z axis. So if this is a vector, its magnitude is denoted just by a symbol a or mod of a bar, and it is given as square root of a1 square plus a2 square plus a3 square. All these things already I given in a vector algebra video, and I told that go through that video and complete the quiz. So those who completed the quiz, definitely they will feel this is a very simple thing that you have, but those who not completed, they have a little bit of problem then. And third thing that we said there is a unit vector now. And now unit vector, yes, we can get a unit vector provided we are given a vector a bar. So we can just take a cap is equal to that a bar divided by its own magnitude. Okay, so you can a bar upon a or a bar upon mod a bar. So that about a unit vector. That is the third definition you should know. Fourth one, then you should know the dot product. Dot product. Okay, the dot product between the two vectors a bar and b bar is denoted as a bar dot b bar, and mainly we require the second definition of a dot product in terms of components. Suppose a bar is a a1i plus a2j plus a3k, and the b bar is a b1i plus b2j plus b3k. What about a dot b?
A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus
Correct.
A3 B3.
Very good. A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3 plus A3 B3. So this is the second definition that is important of a dot product. Again, there are two more important properties from dot product, 2 to 3, that we require. The first one is regarding whenever we have to prove the vectors are perpendicular, we can prove just a dot b is a 0. Okay, so the first property from the dot product is important is a bar dot b bar is a 0 if and only if this a bar is a perpendicular to B bar. Okay, that about one property of dot product. Another property, yes, we can use a dot product to find out the angle between the two vectors. So when we have to find out the angle between the two vectors, we use the formula. We use a formula cos theta is equal to a bar dot b bar upon magnitude of a this is magnitude of a into b. Okay, it is not actually that place. I cannot write it there. Okay, so a bar dot b bar upon a b just. Okay, a b are a is a mod of a bar there that way. So that is cos theta formula. And the last one, a projection. Projection of A bar on B bar. Yes, what is the formula for projection?
A dot B by B.
Yes, correct. A dot B upon B. That about the important properties from a dot product. The last definition you should know is a cross product. Again, in a cross product, we require this component definition. That is mainly the important. A cross B is given as a determinant whose first rows are unit vectors I, J, K. Second row is a component of A bar, and third row is a component of a B bar. So this way, that cross product we calculate. And remember the
Excuse me,
definition.
sir.
Yes.
So what is the proof of this that A cross B is equals to the determinant of this?
Determinant of this proof of see, whenever there are the formulas, the formula generally doesn't have the proof there. Okay, so this is defined. The multiplication is defined in two different ways in vectors. One way is known as a dot product and other is a cross product. And why it is defined, actually this is because of the real life situation. Whenever you multiply two vector quantities like work and displacement, it is observed that the resulting quantity force into displacement, when you do the force into displacement, you get a work done there, and that is a scalar quantity. So the scalar quantity, by that observation, it is defined by this formula. Okay, this formula gives us that work done with a force into displacement formula. But if you take that
Momentum.
yes, momentum, or you can take like r bar cross f bar, that is known as torque, or
Torque.
is it r cross f. So that time it is observed that when you multiply that position vector, that or displacement vector, with a force vector r bar cross f bar, then the resulting quantity coming as a vector quantity, and that quantity is defined by this way, and this gives us the magnitude as well as direction of that vector, and by that way it is defined. Actually it is these are definitions. The definitions are generally without proof there. Okay, so there is no proof direct you will get anywhere. Okay, no proof for the definitions. It is defined on the basis of some observation. Okay, so that observations are the real life situations there, that way. So that about the important definition you should know. If you know only these 5 things, I will tell you, you will get entire vector calculus. Okay, your entire vector calculus will be a very simple. But yes, you should know what is a vector. It's a magnitude of vector, unit vector, dot product, and cross product. So that about the 5 things there. Okay. So today's first topic is a very simple topic that we have, is related to velocity and acceleration. So let me move to the topic here, today's topic, that is a velocity and acceleration. So before we start, how to get the velocity and acceleration there. Okay, someone is on the chat. Okay.
Displacement of
Mm,
derivative of displacement.
yes, derivative of a displacement, that is a velocity. Okay, good. So, but before we go to that definitions, let I tell you, whatever the equation written on the screen, this equation, just 1 minute. R bar is equal to f bar of t. That is the equation here written, and this equation mainly known as vector equation of the curve. Okay, it is a vector equation of the curve. So to write this vector equation of the curve, what is the requirement? The requirement is we should know the parametric equation of the curve. Now, what is the parametric equation of curve? The parametric equation of curve is nothing but all the Cartesian variables should be written in terms of one single parameter. In this case, the parameter is taken as a t. Generally, this t is known as a time parameter, but not necessary it is time only. It can be angle, it can be anything there. Okay, so xyz is written in terms of some parameter. That parameter is a t here. Because of that, it is a parametric equation of the curve. So if we know the parametric equation of a curve, we can easily write its vector equation of the curve. So I will write a few curves here, few equation of the curve. Let I write a first equation. The first equation I will take it as, say, y is equal to x square. Yes, anyone? What it represents?
Parabola.
Parabola. So can you tell me the parametric equation of this parabola? What is the parametric equation? Actually, our aim is to write the vector equation of the parabola. We are going to write the vector equation of parabola. To write vector equation of this parabola, we should know this parametric equation first. So can you tell me what should be?
F2t is
T
equals to
square
F
and
into t.
No. Uh,
T square by 4, T square by 4 and A by 2.
Okay, so you are in the general form. So why you there is no need to by heart anything. I will tell you there is no need to by heart any parametric forms that standard parametric forms that you have in the 12th. So it is very easy to get a parametric form from in this equation. Can we take x as a t? Suppose we take x equal to t. What about y?
Y equals T square.
And
T
that's
square.
and this is actually the parametric form of the parabola. Y equal to x square have the parametric form as x equal to t, therefore y is t square. So x is t, y is t square. That's the parametric equation of a parabola. And if we have the parametric equation, we have to write the vector equation as r bar equal to xi plus yj plus zk. So obviously this parabola is in xy plane. So obviously z component is a 0 because it's a 2D curve right now. So it is a two-dimensional curve in xy plane. So z is a 0. So what will be the vector equation? What is the vector equation of this parabola then? Quick. Is it ti? You can write I or I cap. Both are okay because ijk also can be used as a standard notation. So ti cap plus
T
T
square
square
J
J
cap.
cap.
only that much, 0 k cap. There is no need to write it. So that is the end of the vector equation of a parabola. So if we want to write the equation of a parabola in a vector form, just we'll write it as a ti plus t square j. Ti plus t square j represents the parabola in nowhere you have to identify. Okay, nowhere you have to identify what that curve represents. It is just for information. I'm showing you how these Cartesian equations have its equivalent vector equation. Okay, so let I write one more equation and that I will write it as, say, y is equal to 4x. Y is equal to 4x. What it represents?
Straight line.
Straight line. So tell me the parametric equation first.
X equals T
XTY 40.
and
Correct.
Y equals 40.
Y equal to 40. Correct. So x is t, y is 40. So what about r bar? That position vector r bar.
Ti cap
Ti cap plus 2t j cap.
40
T I cap plus 4t
40
j cap only. Again, this is a 2D curve. So that about the parabola, sorry, straight line. Let I write one more here. Third, say x square plus y square is equal to 9. Now this is a circle. So can you guess now what should be the parametric equation of a circle?
X sine theta, y cos theta.
If x is a sine theta, y is cos theta, what will happen? Sine square plus cos square theta become 1. 1 equal to 9. Is it true?
No, sir.
three sin theta and 3 cos theta.
Very good. That is a correct answer. So x is generally we take x in terms of cosine and y is in terms of sine, but reverse is also okay. I'm not saying that is a compulsory. So the best parametric form for a circle is let x equal to 3 cos theta and y is equal to 3 sin theta. If you replace x by 3 cos theta, y by 3 sin theta, we get r bar equal to 3 cos theta I cap plus 3 sin theta j cap. So this is the vector equation of a circle. Vector equation of a circle is a 3 cos theta I plus 3 sin theta j there. Similarly, we can write it for ellipse also. Okay. So one more I will write it here. So the fourth, say x square upon 4 plus y square upon 9 is equal to 1. Can you tell me directly the vector equation r bar? What should be x?
So 2 cos
2
theta.
cos theta.
Cos theta.
Cos theta
And
equals
y?
3
cos
sin
theta
theta.
j.
3 sin theta.
So
3
is
sin theta.
yeah, correct. X is a 2 cos theta and y is a 3 sin theta. So this will be the vector equations or this will be the vector equation of an ellipse. Remember, there is an alternative way to write the vector equation for this circle, for the circle as well as ellipse. For circle, yes, you can put y equal to t. If y is a t, x become root of 9 minus t square. Okay, and that way also you can write the parametric form. Okay, so that is alternative way. That is the choice. But generally, it is a preferred in a trigonometry. In a trigonometry, when the circle and ellipse is there, their vector equations considered in a trigonometric form. So whatever all these curves I shown you, for all these curves, you will observe that they are a two-dimensional curve only. Okay, but majority of the times we'll come across three-dimensional curve. But three-dimensional curves directly you are given. Actually, not only three-dimensional, two-dimensional also. Each and every curve that you are given directly in a parametric form only. For example, you will have the question like this. Okay, you will have a question like this. Find the velocity and acceleration of the particle which moves on this curve. Say r bar is equal to cos theta I plus sin theta j plus I will take here cos theta I plus sin theta j plus, say, I want not z, sorry, uh, just a minute. Plus theta k cap. Okay, cos theta I plus sin theta j plus theta k cap. Now this is if you observe, theta is a parameter which is used in xyz form. So value of x is a cos theta, value of y is a sin theta, and value of z is just a theta. And this is the vector equation of a three-dimensional curve. So this curve will look like this. So it is just like a spring there. Okay, it is a 3D curve. Okay, this is the 3D curve that you have, three-dimensional. It is it is a spring, you can say, just or yes, any other name you know about this curve. We cannot say a spiral.
Helical.
Huh?
Helical.
Helix.
Helical path.
Helix. Helix is the proper name, I think. That is a helix, or it is just a curve which is on the surface of the cylinder. On the surface of a cylinder, that's the curve. But it is 3D curve. So 3D curves are given like this in vector form. And now, what this r bar represents generally? Let me come to that now. So we are saying this r bar is a position vector of a moving particle. So we are given some equation r bar. We are given some equation r bar. So that r bar represents some curve. Say this is the curve C. With respect to origin, the position of r bar will be like this. This is the vector r bar. But say this r bar is at t is equal to some at particular t. Say t is equal to 10. So this may be the position. So if we say this is the first r bar, So, or this is the r bar at say t equal to 0, at some t equal to 0. So it may be r bar at t is equal to minus 5 also. Okay, so that way. So t is equal to minus 5. At the value of t is a minus 5, the r bar position is here. The position vector r bar is here. This is the position of a particle at t equal to minus 5. This is at t equal to 0. This is equal to t equal to 10. So all these arrows of r bar which are pointed outward direction from the origin, they are known as a position vector. They are the position vector that decides the position of a particle at any instant t. So different values of t gives us a different position of a particle, because particle is moving on that curve with respect to that parameter t there. Got it? That is the position vector. Now, if we that is the position vector, or also known as a displacement vector of a moving particle. Displacement vector of a moving particle. So we already know there is very simple definition that we have for a velocity. Yes, velocity is a rate of change of displacement. So velocity vector, we denote it by dr bar by dt. Dr bar by dt. Can you tell me what is the direction of velocity? Direction is along which direction? Suppose at t equal to 10, I have to show the velocity vector. So in which?
Tangential.
Along a tangential. Very good. So that's a correct answer. So velocity always acts along a tangent to the curve. So first we'll draw a tangent line to the curve at t equal to 10. Suppose this is the tangent line. Okay, this is a dotted line I drawn it as a tangent. This is the tangent line. And along the tangent we have that velocity vector. Say suppose the particle is moving in that direction, so velocity have this direction then, v bar. Okay, so this velocity is along a tangent to the curve. Okay, so this v bar is equal to dr bar by dt. But remember, the tangent and the velocity have the same direction. So if the question is find the tangent vector, then also we have to do the same calculus. Suppose capital T bar is a tangent vector, it is a dr bar by dt. V bar is a velocity vector, that is also dr bar by dt. So that about the velocity. Next, we have one more thing that about acceleration. So this acceleration, a bar is rate of change of velocity. So it is a dv bar by dt. That's a simple formula that we have. Just we have to differentiate v bar vector with respect to t, and we get acceleration vector there. And can you guess about the direction of acceleration?
So there will be two directions. So one, if it is in circular orbit, one will be towards the center, and other in the direction of displacement itself.
Okay, Sushant, you are talking very fast, huh? Just tell me in short what about the direction of a bar?
So there will be two directions. One in the direction of the center, the centripetal acceleration, and one tangential acceleration in the direction of tangent.
Okay, but I will tell you whatever you are saying. You are okay. So you are giving the answer about resolution of that acceleration. But is the direction of acceleration is fixed?
No, sir, it's changing.
It is a changing. Yes, very good. That's correct. Correct answer. So acceleration is a never fixed. Acceleration can have any random direction if the path is a random. Okay, if path is a zigzag path, the acceleration will change at a different direction at a different point there. But I will tell you that if the path is a fixed path, like circular path, for circular path we have fixed acceleration direction. Can you guess the direction of acceleration for a circular path? If particle moves on a circle, what should be the acceleration? Yes, anyone? If the particle moves on this circle, what should be the direction of acceleration? Obviously, we already discussed about velocity will be like.
Velocity is constant or variable.
Velocity is along a
Magnitude.
tangent there.
Magnitude is variable.
No, magnitude is a constant there. For velocity, a constant velocity will be there probably for yes, constant velocity is there at each point, but it is always along
And
to the
towards the
tangent.
center, if velocity is constant, then it will be towards center.
No, acceleration is a towards center, correct. So this is the direction of acceleration. This acceleration acts towards origin there. R bar is away from origin, acceleration is towards origin. That is for a circular motion. When there is circular motion, acceleration always acts towards the origin. But suppose we have a hyperbola. Okay, we have the hyperbola. Say I will draw a rough sketch here. A rough sketch of a hyperbola here. So this is one of the branch of say hyperbola, and the other branch is somewhere here. But the suppose particle is moving on this curve only, this curve C, on a hyperbola. Okay, this is at any point P. The r bar vector, position vector will look like this. I'll draw the position vector. So say this is the position vector r bar. Say this is the position of a particle. Can you guess the direction of acceleration for a hyperbolic path? Yes, obviously the tangent will be like this. The tangent vector t bar, or velocity vector, sorry, t bar or v bar. What about the acceleration? Can any guess for a hyperbolic path? The
Normal to that point.
No, it's not a normal. It is a acceleration. Not necessary. It is always a normal. Acceleration is along r bar only, but acceleration have this direction. So the acceleration is away from origin. At each point, the acceleration acts away from. Here acts towards origin. Here acts away from origin. Well, actually, it is just for your understanding. I am giving these ideas. Nowhere you have to tell anything about like this. Okay, you don't have to interpret the results. Nothing is there. Just for your knowledge, I'm saying there are two standard curves like circular path and hyperbolic path, where the acceleration have the fixed directions, but for all other paths, acceleration changes its direction. At time to time, acceleration changing there. So let me discuss a little bit about this. First of all, the formulas. Let I show you here. This is the formula for. This is the formula. You'll observe the here is a formula of tangent vector t bar or velocity vector v bar is a dr bar by dt. That you should remember. Acceleration vector a bar is a dv bar by dt. That's one. And here's a small thing that I want to show you. Just quickly, I will show you this velocity and acceleration of a moving particle with GeoGebra. Okay. You'll observe x is equal to sine t taken and y equal to cos t. So you'll observe x square plus y square equal to 1. Is it? If x is a sine t, y is a cos t, x square plus y square equal to 1. So the curve that is drawn here is a circle of radius 1. You will observe it is passing through the point 1, 1, 0, minus 1, 0. Is it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now for this curve, if I want to show the velocities, right now the particle is at a point B here. This particle is at point B and it's moving clockwise now. It's moving clockwise. So if we want to show you the velocity at this point B there, so the velocity vector you will look, you can see now it on the screen. The velocity is here, v bar. It is along tangent to that curve. If you see the tangent line is shown by a dotted line here. This is the dotted line. Next, if we see acceleration, the acceleration is like the vector BA. Vector BA that is acts towards origin. That's a acceleration. And if I animate it now, so you will observe the acceleration always have a fixed direction. And that direction is towards origin. That arrow towards origin, that is acceleration vector, while the arrow in this purple color, that is the velocity vector there. So that about the velocity and acceleration at any particular instant if you want. So just you have to pause it. So if I pause here somewhere here, so at this instant now, if the particle is at point C, this is the acceleration vector and this is the velocity vector. That about the standard curve circle. If you convert this circle to the hyperbolic curve, so if we convert it to the hyperbolic curve, so say here is h, and here is now it's a hyperbolic curve. The curve is a hyperbolic. So only partial curve is drawn here. Why it is a partial curve drawn? The reason is we fix the values of t from t equal to 0 to say something 50. 0 to 50. So here is t equal to 0. For t equal to 0, this is the position, and this curve is for t equal to 0 to 50. But remember, this hyperbola have the similar thing for minus negative values of t, and this is only one branch of hyperbola. Other branch of hyperbola is on downward side there. So that way. Now for this hyperbola, let me keep the t as a 0.7. I kept t at a 0.7. So for 0.7 value of a t, you will observe the acceleration vector is in the black color here. Okay, so if you see the arrow in a black color, that is the acceleration vector. Velocity vector is hidden actually below that. Let I change the time otherwise little bit. Yes. Yes, now it is okay. You'll observe both there. This is the acceleration vector, this is velocity vector. If I draw r bar vector, position vector, it becomes clear. What is a r bar vector? R bar vector is a vector which joins, r bar vector actually joins the origin with the point C, because the particle is at point C now. So for point C, if we join that origin line, so this is the r bar vector. If you see the vector r bar and if you see this acceleration vector a bar, they have the same line of action and both are in the same direction. So this acceleration is away from origin there. This acceleration acts exactly away from origin. So first r bar is from O to C only. Vector OC is r bar, and after that then you have the acceleration vector a bar there. So that way actually the acceleration works for hyperbolic path, and this is the velocity vector. Now last some random curve, let me draw it. Okay, let me take any random curve here. So that random curve will take it as, say, I want some random curve. So let me see. T cube plus t. I taken x is t cube plus t, and let I take y equal to just t. Let me see what happens. Okay, so the curve goes like this, but I want, say, what happens now. No, it goes. It may shift there only. No. So I want actually some zigzag path, but I'm not able to create it now. So, or I will take something like sine t. Let I check if I add some. No. Last change I will do it here. Okay, so this is one of the curve that I taken. Y is equal to t and x equal to sine t. You will observe the curve is like a half sinusoidal wave on y-axis there. Is it okay? Now, can you see the acceleration? Can you see where is the direction of acceleration? Yes, anyone? The particle is at point A here, this one, or point C. What's the direction of acceleration?
The coinciding with V.
Yes, actually it is, but it is a parallel to x-axis and toward it is parallel to x-axis or towards y-axis there. Is it? But if we animate now, let me see the animation of this one. Let me check what happens. So whether, okay, so throughout the acceleration is fixed again. So for this also the acceleration have the fixed direction there. you'll observe that acceleration, okay, that gone now. That is there is a upside, there is curve. So probably it may changes, but it is. I should take it as yes, that is a changing, that acceleration. See, up to point 3, up to this point, that acceleration is towards y-axis, and after this point it flips the direction, means, or up to this it is a negative x-axis direction. Acceleration is towards negative x-axis, and after point 3 it flips to the positive x-axis direction. So that way the acceleration changing its direction if there is a random path. So we'll not go in the detail now. I hope the concept of the acceleration and velocity is clear, because nowhere you require. I will tell you here only we have to do the mathematical part. Only what is the most important thing for you? The formula of V bar and the formula of A bar. T bar, V bar and A bar. These three formulas are only important. Nothing else. Okay, got it? So it's better we'll see the question here. Come to the types of the question that we have. We are given A bar and B bar are constant vector. So whenever it is written A bar and B bar as a constant vector, remember this A bar is actually like say A1I plus A2J plus A3K, where A1, A2, A3 are constant, because if A bar is a constant vector, its all components should be a constant. So A1, A2, A3 all are constant there. Similarly, B bar is a constant vector. It is a B1I plus B2J plus B3K, and that B1, B2, B3 are constant. So whenever we are given a position vector, the position vector can be given in this form, or the same R bar can be simplified as this A bar may become something like some constant there, but I will say constant K1 sine hyperbolic t I cap plus K2 cos hyperbolic t j cap. So this vector equation can be simplified in this form. Okay, so I want to tell you that the vector equation of the curve can be given in terms of constant vectors A bar, B bar, C bar, or it can be given in terms of I, J, K. So right now we are given the vector equation in this form. So this is the given equation. So we can give this as equation 1, and our aim is to prove this part. We have to prove that R bar is the same as d2 R bar by dt square. R bar is equal to d2 R bar by dt square. So it is a very simple proof there. Just we have to differentiate twice there. So let me give the given equation as 1. This is the given equation. Differentiating with respect to t. Now the derivative of a vector is nothing but the derivative of its component. So dr bar by dt by 1. What's the derivative of this? A bar is a constant vector, so as it is. Tell me the derivative of sine hyperbolic t.
Cos hyperbolic.
Yes, it is a cos hyperbolic t plus. Now B bar is a constant vector as it is. Derivative of cos hyperbolic t.
Sine hyperbolic t.
Good. So that is the correct answer. It is just sine hyperbolic t. Remember, there is a big difference in the derivatives of circular and hyperbolic. All derivatives of sine and cosine in hyperbolic are positive. So derivative of cos ht is also plus sine ht. Only in circular, derivative of cos t is a minus sine t there, that way. So because of that, this happens. The third, one more differentiation. Therefore, d2 R bar by dt square. Therefore, this d2 R bar by dt square is now derivative of cos ht is again a sin ht here, just like a previous step. And the derivative of sin ht is a cos ht. Now, can you observe by 1 and 3? By 1 and 3, we get a required result. What is that? R bar is the same as d2 R bar by dt square. And what is actually d2 R bar by dt square? Acceleration. So we proved that R bar is the same as the acceleration vector A bar. R bar is the same as the acceleration vector A bar. And why this is happening here? Because the the particle is moving on a hyperbolic path. So the direction of r bar and the direction of acceleration both are same, that I already shown on the diagram. Those who remember, you can already seen that the direction of a position vector r bar and the direction of acceleration vector a bar both are the same there, is it? So it is a if you see the mathematical part, that is really simple. What you have to do it, r bar given, just differentiate it twice and show they are equal. That's the end of the question. Nowhere the question there is written interpret the result or anything. So no need to say that r bar and a bar have same direction. All that things no need to write it, because nowhere it is given that interpret the result. So if you finish this, tell me. We are going to do 2 more examples. Yes, Ankur?
Done, sir.
Done? Okay, good.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, differentiation will always give positive result.
No. Derivative of hyperbolic functions are always positive. So d dt of cos hyperbolic t is a sine hyperbolic t, and d dt of sine hyperbolic t is a cos hyperbolic t. Okay, that is for hyperbolic function only. Okay, we'll not go in the detail of hyperbolic functions, because just you have to remember these basics, and only one question is here on hyperbolic. Okay. So as you remember these results of circular derivative of cos t, what is the derivative of cos t?
Negative sine t.
And that you have to write it only. Only minus sine t you have to write it if it is a circular function there. But for hyperbolic you have to write it as positive there.
Okay, so for hyperbolic it will be positive.
Yes, correct.
In other cases it will be negative.
Yes, that other differentiations are like our usual formulas there. Whenever you have to differentiate, only for hyperbolic, that is a rule. Yeah. So here is a question number 2. The question is find the angle between the tangents to the curve. So the question is here, find the angle between the tangents to the curve. This equation of curve we are given as a t square I plus 2tj minus t cube k, and we want the angle between the tangents at the points plus 1 and minus 1. So first of all, we are given a position vector. We want a tangent vector. What should be done to get a tangent vector? What is the formula?
We will take a derivative.
Yeah, correct. So just take a dr bar by dt, that is a t bar vector. What is the derivative? Yes,
2t.
2ti plus 2j minus 3t square k. Okay, so that is a tangent vector. So step number 1, we have a tangent vector. So in the solution, step 1, we calculated a tangent vector is a dr bar by dt, which is a 2ti plus 2j minus 3t square k. What should be the next step now? So as per the question, what should be the next step that we have to do it? We have to find out this tangent vector at these points, no? So we should replace t by 1 and t by minus 1 respectively. So we denote that vectors by some notation, say a bar, b bar, or p bar, q bar. Any notation we can use it. So I will take, let a bar is a vector. Let a bar is a tangent vector at t equal to 1. So if I replace t by 1 here, I will get first tangent vector as a bar. Then I will replace this t by minus 1. I will get one more tangent vector at a minus 1. So the next step is here. So let a bar is a tangent at t equal to 1, and it will be this vector. Just I am replacing t by 1 here. Let b bar is a tangent at t equal to minus 1. Replace t by minus 1 here. We get this is a vector. After this, yes, now what should be the step?
Dot product.
Dot product. Okay, yes. So whenever we require the angle between the two vectors, generally we prefer a dot product. We can calculate the angle by cross product also, but it takes more time than the dot product. So generally dot product is preferred. So to get the angle, we use that formula cos theta is a dot b upon magnitude of a into magnitude of b. So the formula, sorry. Yeah. So cos theta is a dot b divided by magnitude of a into magnitude of b. So A dot B is taken as a A1 B1 plus A2 B2 plus A3 B3. So A1 B1, 2 into minus 2 is a minus 4. Then 2 into 2 is a plus 4, and minus 3 into minus 3 is a plus 9. So this plus 4 minus 4 gets cancelled. This is 9 divided by root 70. So answer is a theta is the angle between the tangents is a cos inverse of 9 by 17. That will be the final answer. If anyone have a doubt, yes, you can ask.
No doubt, sir.
No doubt. Good. So this PPT is already shared with you. Already I shared on the WhatsApp group. So you can go through this. This solution is also there. Okay. So can we move to the next here then?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So last question on velocity and acceleration. This is the third question. You should read a question and then you have to tell me the steps here. Okay. So the question is, a particle moves along the curve. So we are given the equation of a curve in a parametric form. Okay, this is a parametric equation of curve given. X, Y, Z given in parameter t, where t is said as a time. Okay. So in this case, the t parameter is a time parameter. Okay. Find the component of its velocity and acceleration at t equal to 1 in the direction of I plus j plus 3k. So that about the entire question here. I want a step number 1 where we should start it here.
So we will form an equation of displacement using
Correct.
XYZ
Very good.
components.
So first we should write a vector equation of a curve, say r bar equal to xi plus yj plus zk. So that about step number 1. So step number 1, we should get this vector r bar. Let r bar is xi plus yj plus zk, and we replace the given values of xyz in a parameter t there. Next step then.
First order and second order derivative.
Yes, we should compute the first derivative and second derivative to get the velocity vector and the acceleration vector one by one. So v bar is a dr bar by dt and a bar is a dv bar by dt. So what is a v bar vector? You will observe clearly this is a 3t square I plus 2tj plus 2k. Remember, the differentiation formulas that you require in vector calculus, they are really a simple. Many times you require just derivative of algebraic function only. In few cases exponential, and in few cases you require product rule. That's one only, not other than that. So these are really simple differentiations. Only the difference is you are doing the derivatives with a vector function. Okay, vector function. So this is the vector r bar. So we write it a velocity and acceleration here. So therefore velocity v bar is a dr bar by dt. Derivatives are taken. A bar is a dv bar by dt. It's one more derivative is taken, and that becomes the acceleration vector. Right now we have this v bar and a bar vector in terms of a parameter t. That means they are general velocity and acceleration at any instant t, at any value of t. These are the velocity and acceleration vector. Next step.
Value of t will be substituted.
Yes, but our aim is to get the velocity and acceleration at a particular instant, that t equal to 1. So let me replace t by 1. So if you replace t by 1 at t equal to 1, if you replace t by 1, it becomes 3i plus 2j plus 2k, and here is it 6i plus 2j. So these are the velocity and acceleration at t equal to 1. Now the last step. Yes.
Projection.
Yes, we want a projection of this v bar and a bar vector in this direction. So suppose this direction I will denote it by b bar, vector b bar. So what is the projection of v bar on a b bar?
8 v dot b divided by b.
Correct.
V dot b divided
Yes,
by b.
that's one only. Very nice. So you'll observe the first one. I assume this vector as a b bar, and now component of v bar along b bar is v dot b upon b, and this will gives us this answer, root 11. Okay, v dot b. What is v dot b? So it is a 3 into 1 plus 2 into 1 plus 2 into 3. Okay, and that is written in the numerator. that is a a1 b1 plus a2 b2 plus a3 b3 divided by magnitude of a b. Magnitude of b is 1 plus 1 plus 9, root of 1 plus 1 plus 9 there. Got it? So root 11 is a component of v bar along b bar, and exactly similar way we can find the component of a bar, that is acceleration, along b bar there. So here is the last step. You will observe component of a bar along b bar is a dot b upon b there, and the final answer is 8 by root 11. 8 by root 11. That is the final answer. Got it? Any doubt here?
Sir, again the last part.
Last part means this one.
Sir, from the bottom of the answer.
Bottom of the answer means no. If you can ask a particular thing, na, tell me which part.
Component of V along B.
V along B. Okay, this part. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this is the projection. See, what is the question? Question is find the components of its velocity and acceleration in this direction. So we want a component of velocity along this direction. What is a component? There is a parallel word for component is a projection. Projection, component, or magnitude. Magnitude of velocity along this direction. So that is the same thing. So we want what component of velocity acts in this direction. So we are taking the formula of a projection. So already it is given in the prerequisite part how to take projection of a bar on b bar. If you want a projection of a bar on b bar, it is a bar dot b bar upon magnitude of b bar. That way, are you getting? So this is just a formula, the formula of a projection. We are projecting v bar on b bar. So it is v bar dot b bar upon mod b bar. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So it is just a formula base. If you gone through that prerequisite part, it will be very simple for you. Anything else? Any doubt?
No, sir.
No doubt.
So that means two projection was taken out, one with A and one with V.
No. We taken a projection of v bar on the vector b bar. We taken a projection of acceleration on a b bar. See, read the question completely, na. Find the component of its velocity and acceleration. हमें velocity and acceleration का component in this direction निकालना है. That is straightforward, na.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you read it
Excuse
carefully.
me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in a hyperbolic function, the direction of acceleration and displacement will always be same, but the magnitude may differ, right?
Magnitude will not differ. Magnitude also will be the same, I think.
So, sir, the projection of acceleration or displacement will always be zero then?
Projection
Same
of
direction, sir?
yes, yeah, that is a zero, correct? Because see, in circular path, in circular and hyperbolic path, the acceleration have fixed direction. Okay, acceleration have fixed direction, and if you want to project that acceleration on the same self vector, okay, so you will get entire magnitude, na. Actually,
Yes, sir.
the acceleration will be the entire magnitude there.
Yes, sir. Same thing.
Sir, are we having the concept of inverse vector this year?
No.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubt, anyone? So two more questions are there for self-study. Probably I will give it in the tutorial. Okay, so don't worry. So I will give the practice question always there. So you have to practice this. You can do it. You can try it. The first question is a bar and b bar are constant vector, and this is the position vector r bar that you are given. Can you guess this position vector represents which path? Actually, there is no need to guess, but
Elliptical, sir, elliptical.
no, it is not elliptical. It is a circular path only. Cos omega t and sin omega t is there. So a bar and b bar are constant vector only. So this is the circular path, and for circular path, this is a bar equal to minus omega square r bar you get. A bar equal to minus omega square r bar, and that indicates itself that that acceleration and r bar have the opposite direction. That minus sign indicates opposite direction. But these are just interpretations for your understanding, but actually you have to do the just mathematical part. differentiate r bar 2 times. What's the derivative of cos omega t? You will write
minus omega sin omega t.
yes, minus omega sin omega t, that way, and you will get 2 times differentiation. You will get this answer. And this question 3 is exactly similar question that we just completed. We are given this parametric equation of the curve, and we want this component of velocity and acceleration along this direction. So exactly similar question, so that you can do it your own. So you have the answers with you. Okay, so you can practice it. That's for today.